Sometimes we read it because somebody recommended us to read something, but we rarely read it to really chew on what we're reading and be able to consume it in a way that we can get all the nutrients out. I got Ro on here. Ro. Can she add her to my spotlight? Okay. And then unmute her. Unmute the boss, please. Okay.
I'm
Ro, can you tell the people, because I want them to get this analogy, how when you told it to me, y'all, I was about ready to run through a wall. And I want y'all to put y'all track shoes on and be like me. And I said, can you explain to me in the natural the benefits of chewing the food good enough that it can be digested? Ro, can you do what you did to me that messed me up? Tell the people what you told me.
Okay, so so when you think of so first of all, chewing is the beginning of the digestive process, right? So when you have food in your mouth and you start to chew it, right, and then you got the digestive enzymes in the saliva, so everything is to break the food down, right? And so all of it is preparing it so it can have an easy transition through the colon, through the your small intestine, large intestine. So what happens is most people don't chew it enough, right? And so you're supposed to chew it like, it's going to sound nasty, but until it turns into sludge, because when you're chewing the food, what's happening is you're extracting the nutrients, okay, out of the food and sending it to the cells and all these things, right? Because to get the energy from, because food is fuel. So you got to get the fuel from the food. But if we don't chew it enough, what's going to happen is it's going to go through the digestive tract, and it's an issue, right? You're not getting the nutrients, and then it can create holes in your intestines and things like that. I remember I was telling Tiff, this was years ago, and I went to a naturopath, and I was having a colonic done, right? And he's, I don't know if y'all had a colonic done, but they actually stick the little tube up, up your little butt, and the stuff is coming out. And he said to me, "Oh, it looked like you had a chocolate muffin." And I'm like, how you know that? He said, "There it is right there." I was like, what? It was still intact, right? And so that's what happens. A lot of people are constipated, so now granted, I don't know how much nutrients I'm getting from a chocolate muffin, but my point is we don't chew it enough. You should chew your food into a sludge, right? And it feels real icky and slimy, but guess what? If it's sludge, it's going to slither right through that intestinal tract, and you're going to extract all the nutrients that you need to get out of it. But if we're chewing, it's like chunks. Most people really, if you watching, because that's what I do. I sit and I watch people, and they may chew maybe 5 times and they swallow. I'm like, oh, you got digestive issues. I already know, and so it's just going through in chunks. And so you can't possibly get the nutrients from the food if you don't chew it until it's sludge, really. Now that's the word that comes to a sludge. It's like just pasty, y'all know what it is. It's pasty. It's like it turns into they call it a bolus. It's like a softened ball, right? But when that thing goes through, it's gonna go through real smooth as butter, and it can come on out. But most people do not. So I think the medical term for chewing is mastication, right? So you gotta masticate, y'all. Mastication begins in the mouth, and if we don't chew enough here, we're setting ourselves up for failure, right? And we can't get the nutrients if we don't chew that thing enough, and that's just going to facilitate the ease through the whole intestinal tract. But yeah, chewing.
Now, Ro was talking in medical terms, and all I heard. Thank you, Ro. Thank y'all.
You're welcome.
More from Ro this week, y'all. Give it up for Ro. Coach Ro in the house. So Ro was talking in medical terms, and all I heard was the revelation. Did anybody else get it while she was talking about how we should really dissect the scripture until it's Oh, that did something to me, y'all. That did something to me, because I said to myself, oh my gosh. And then people be talking about, I'm reading the whole Bible in a year. And you zooming past these scriptures, and the muffin is coming out, and you didn't even digest it. You didn't even get what the promise was. You didn't even exploit out what the seed work is. You didn't even realize how to apply it to your life. You didn't even realize that you were supposed to take that word and it was going to show up on your job, and you was going to get that promotion. You were supposed to take this word, it was going to show up in your health, and you was going to get healed. You didn't even realize it because you're reading it so fast that if you just take the scripture and make it sludge, that you would extract out all the nutrients. I When I tell you, she sent it to me in a voice memo. I listened to it 4 times and I was shouting every time. I said, Father, forgive me for every time I blindly was reading your word and didn't get all the nutrients out. If you say that it's like living water, it's my daily bread, and I'm and just throwing it back, they ain't got nothing. But guess what I said? I read my word today. I did my part. I activate Psalms 91. I did my secret time. I demand my hedge of protection. But until you make the scripture sludge. So that's what I'm going to teach you, okay? Because I could spend about a whole nother hour. I literally could spend a whole nother hour on how that revelation changed my life when she shared that with me. But I want to make sure that I'm going to show you exactly what this looks like. So we're going to reverse engineer a promise. And how we're going to reverse engineer a promise, I'm going to use a scripture as my sample, and we're going to make this scripture sludge, shall we? We're going to get all the nutrients out. Why do we need to get all the nutrients out? Because we need it to go down to the seed. Because if we purify the seed, we will get the harvest that we desire. But if I'm chewing so fast that I don't even get the nutrients, it never purifies the seed, and I can't understand why I keep seeing the same harvest. But God, I'm reading your word. But are you getting the nutrients out? So I'm going to show you how to get the nutrients out. This is going to be a good time. Y'all ready?
5 years ago, God started talking to me about partnerships.
Deuteronomy 32:30 tells me that one can chase 1,000, but 2 can put 10,000 to flight. And the Hebrew definition of flight means to cause to disappear. It is with that revelation that I said, God, your math, it disrupts. It breaks the rules. It's mind-boggling. It's supernatural.
This is not a book you read alone.
I have our sample harvest that we would like. How many of you, siblings come around, because sis got good news. How many of you would like guaranteed success? Put me in the chat. This is a harvest we would like to see. Guaranteed success. I found something in our trust that talks about guaranteed success. I'm sharing it with my siblings. We're going to take this scripture. We're going to make it sludge. We're going to extract out all the nutrients so those nutrients can get down to the cell, and that cell can do some transforming in our life. Okay. So here's our sample scripture. Some of you may know this one. It's a kingdom favorite. It sure is. Psalms chapter 1:1-3. How many of you, just right when you hear it, you already know where we're going? You're already excited. How many of you, okay, love Psalms chapter 1, don't we? I would like to think that quite possibly, you've been chewing this one too fast. It's quite possible that it's coming out the colon whole. It's quite possible. Okay, I'm going to try to not use so many colon illustrations. I'm going to do my best, but the inside of me is 12 years old. I can't make no promises. Okay, I can't make no promises. I just happen to be in my 40s. I don't act like it. All right, so I'm going to do my best, but here we go. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth fruit in his season. There go that fruit again. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. Is giving guaranteed success. Would we agree that whatsoever he doeth, that's giving who they think they are? She barely paid attention in class. How she? Whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. Guaranteed success. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you the reflect formula, and we're going to digest this scripture in a way that we get all the nutrients out, all the instructions out, all of the seed work out, so we know what our role is, because we want to make sure that we keep a good eye on our role, because we would like guaranteed success. Because how many people realize these years are going by and I'm not going to keep playing with my life? I'm not going to keep playing with my bank account and my babies and my marriage and my friendships and these health issues. I want to be like a sniper when I pray. I want to stop playing around. And so you need some guaranteed success. I'm here to give you this reflect formula, and we're going to break down the scripture to its most simplest form. We're going to begin the mastication on this scripture, and we're going to make it sludge. So first thing we need to do is read it, which we have done. And when we do read it, we need to extract out the seed work. So this is 3 verses in Psalms. The first 2 is our role. That's the fine print in the trust. We sometimes zoom past that. And then we walk around saying, whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. And you kind of sing it, you know what I'm saying, as you washing the dishes and stuff. Whatsoever he doeth. Come on, Jesus. And he's saying, come on, verse 1 and 2. That's what he's saying. Scroll up, sis. That's what he's saying. So verse 1 and 2 is where we're going to focus our attention today. I like to spend a lot of time on the seed work. I might study the harvest stuff just to get myself excited, but I realize that I serve a faithful God. He's been consistent since the beginning of the earth. So I don't too much worry about dissecting this as much as I want to dissect this, because that's my seed work. So let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to do is read it. And when we read it, we're going to extract out everything that we're assigned to do, like bullet points, like a to-do list. Y'all know what those are. So if I extract out verses 1 and 2 as my to-do list, I have 5 things I need to do. I got 5 things I need to do. And if I do those 5 things, it's going to go into the ground and it's going to transform into guaranteed success. If I do those 5 things, I got to do 5 things. So what I have to have, because remember, you can't unlock what's in the trust if you don't understand it. How can you execute what you don't understand? How can you get an A on a chapter that you did not read and you did not consume? So let's make it sludge. Let's keep going. So we're going to read it first. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. For me, when I read this, I kind of got what it meant. I didn't really understand what it meant. You got to understand, I need everything slowed down for me. So we're going to slow that thing down like I do it, and we're going to learn together. First thing I'm going to do is underline any of the words in the verse that I want to look up the meaning of, and I want to look it up in its original language. If it's Old Testament, y'all put it in the chat, okay? As Rose say, check on training. If it's Old Testament, what am I looking it up in? Because that's where this book is located, okay? Very good class, okay? We're gonna look it up in Hebrew, not Hebrews like me wrote, like I put in my slide, okay, y'all? We just gonna look it up in the Hebrew language, okay? At least I'm not the only one, put Hebrews on there, all right? Me and my siblings, we cuts up, all right? We wasn't paying attention to class, Miss Claudette, just forgive us. All right, so we're gonna look it up in the Hebrew language, and I'm personally, these are the words that kind of stood out to me. Walk is not, because King James, he, thee, thou, thou, them. Can you make it in 2025 for me, please? But I still like to study it in King James because I know that's as close to its original form. So I'd rather you give it to me as close to its original form and have me backtrack. I can look it up in different, translations if I need to, but I kind of like to get it as close to its original form so I can now look up that word in as close to its original form as well. Okay, that's just me. Y'all do what y'all do. I'm showing y'all what I do. Okay, so I read it in the King James, and then I say, walketh not, counsel ungodly. I want to look all those up. Here's what those mean in the Hebrew language, in the way it was originally intended. Walketh not means to walk, the manner of life. Okay, so how you actually are living your life, your tiny decisions, the tiny, to lead away, to cause to walk. Okay, cause to walk, which means whatever the decisions you're making, you may not even realize. It's like a ship drifting out at sea. It's causing you to drift a certain way. Okay, and typically, right, it's saying if it's from counsel, it's from advice, from your purpose, where you're deriving your purpose in, and then the actual word counsel, which we still understand, which is just somebody's communicating something to us, giving us advice. We're listening and taking heed. We're okay. What you say now? We're giving whatever that is authority over us, where we're gonna apply that to our life. That's called counsel. But if it's leading us away, the manner of life, well, what kind of counsel is he saying he don't want us fooling with? Ungodly counsel. Well, what does that mean? Wicked, guilty, my personal favorite, against God. And this is literally the Hebrew language says actively a bad person. You're taking advice from somebody that's actively a bad person.